public transport system in Lagos State is wearing a new look with the commissioning of the first phase of the Lagos Rail Mass Transit Blue Rail Line. Now completed, the project is expected to address some of the transportation problems in the state while connecting some intracity settlements. Hello and welcome, I'm Aki Obake. In the next couple of minutes, I'll be taking you through the commissioning of the project as well as the J. Randall Center for Yoruba Culture and History. The 13-kilometer Phase 1 Blue Rail Lagos Rail Mass Transit will operate from Marina to Mile 2. The project is part of the Lagos State Strategic Transport Master Plan, which fits into urban regeneration at the heart of Lagos.
If you look at our agenda, the team's agenda, you realize that the first T there is transportation and traffic management. So we know that in a mega city like Lagos, with a land mass that we have and the population, so you know that we have 0.4% of land mass of Nigeria, but we have 11% of the population. So it means we have a lot of people. So one of the biggest challenges for us is how do we move people without wasting time on the road. So a city like Lagos must have all the intermodal, rail, water and road. So this is fulfilling the commitment that this administration made to Lagosians, that we will solve those problems. So we've started now, we are trying to commission the first phase of the blue line. The red line is on stream, water transportation has picked up, and then of course we are building a lot of roads. So it's the commitment to make sure that we move Lagosians as confidently as possible, as peaceful as possible, and as seamless as possible. So again, remember, we have, Lagos State has the transportation master plan. So part of that plan is to make sure that we use all the three modes, water, rail, and road. And this is the fulfillment of that commitment.
All right, let's look at in terms of opportunities for Lagosians now. How is access? What's the state government doing to ensure that access reaches every Lagosian?
Well, I mean, I think if you see that we've created what is called a cowrie card. So the cowrie card allows people to buy things without any problem. They can buy at various stations, they can buy at different places, and it's not expensive. So one of the things that we've done, if you look, a lot of people are wearing our buses. So the same cowrie card will be used for the rail. So the moment you buy that cowrie card, you can use it for your buses, you can use it for the ferries, and you can use it for the rail. So it's the same thing. So for the average Lagosian, as long as you have your cowrie card, it doesn't matter. You can use any mode of transportation as far as where we are concerned.
When you look at Lagos, the population of Lagos is about 22 million to about 25 million. And the number of trips that we have to cater for in a day is about 26 million. So the only way we can actually cater for this amount of trips is to move them in mass from one point to the other. So the rail project is monumental in helping us to move people en masse from one point to the other. So it's a significant landmark, and it would help to decongest some of our corridors in Lagos.
Let's look at the move to partner with the private sector in this initiative. Sure. What's the Lagos State government doing to ensure that this is not just a government initiative? It will open the room or the window for more private sector investment. So you're just not looking at what Lagos State government is providing, but to spread the investment across board.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. So basically, we have developed a strategic transport master plan, which highlights about 7 rail lines that we want to develop. The government has picked the first 2, and we're going to be working with the private sector to ensure that they run the operation. So the government has developed the fixed infrastructure, and then we want the private sector to come in, buy the rolling stock, and then run the operation so that it becomes a PPP partnership. Now, other rail lines are open to the private sector. We're doing a feasibility study on most of them, and then we're showing how viable those rail lines are, and then we want the private sector to come in and negotiate with the state government so that they can begin to build more of the rail lines and then operate them. So we are open to business with the private sector. We have demonstrated that it can be done in Lagos. We have built the first 2. We want the private sector to come in and then develop the other rail lines that we have in Lagos.
So looking at all this one, and the fact that it's in terms of the finances on government, How is the government moving to finance this thing? And also, more importantly, how would this help to ease the congestion in Lagos?
So I think what is important here is that we're developing the rail line, we're developing our water transport, we're developing the bus system, and then most importantly, we're integrating them in such a way that it becomes seamless from one mode to the other. We have the Cowrie card, which we commissioned about 2 years ago, and that allows people to move from one mode to the other seamlessly without paying for them individually. That makes public transport cheaper, and it makes it attractive to the public. Now, in terms of bringing the private sector in, so we have a PPP office that we would negotiate it with. So they have to develop an economic model. We look at the economic model, we look at how viable the whole operation would be, and then the government will play its part, and then we want the private sector to come in and play their part. So there's a risk that the government must take, there's a risk that the private sector must take, and then we'll negotiate that, and then together we go into partnership and then make sure that we run the operation. So that's the model that we have on the table for now.
Okay, the impact on the Lagos residents will be huge because they'll be able to get to work faster and then they'll be able to be more efficient. So I think this particular project is extremely, important, and economically and socially it's important for the government.
Managing Director of the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, Abimbola Akinyajo, speaks to how the project integrates with other modes of transportation using a unique payment process.
I mean, for Lamata, we have a mandate, and the mandate is, or the vision of Lamata is to provide seamless mobility for the people of Lagos. So for us, this is something we have been pursuing for a while. It is part of our strategic master plan, and it being in our strategic master plan says we must implement. And so for us, we have been driving towards this type. The vision of the state is that we must have an integrated intermodal integrated transport system, and this is just the actualization of that vision. So from Lamata's perspective, we put a lot of effort into it. From the state's perspective, there's been huge drives getting us where we are, and obviously we're moving forward. There's 6 lines, 6 metro lines and 1 monorail within the strategic transport master plan. So this is the first of it. The blue line is the first. The next one that will come up in the next couple of months will be the red line. And after that, we have 4 others that we will begin to look at.
All right, now, looking at this, these are all mapped out based on the strategic master plan. But one major thing that has come to the minds of many is, how do we access this?
So for us, in terms of access, one thing Lagos has been doing, we've been talking about intermodal integrated, right? Or integrated intermodal. So that means one of the things of integration, one of the mindsets of integration is that we have various forms of integration. We have location integration, we have system integration, and then we have fare integration. And that's why every form of regulated transportation in Lagos, you will be using our card, the Cowrie card. So to access this rail system, you will need the Cowrie card, you will load it, and you will use it on the train. So all you need to do is have your card, put your money on it, and you come, you tap, and you have access.
Right, lastly, in terms of geographical spread for this project, how are we looking at penetration to some other areas in Lagos State that don't have easy access of transportation?
So, like I said, this is the first of many. This is the first of 6 metro systems and 1 monorail. So every single one, and I can reel them up for you and you'll see why I say that, it actually connects the major parts of Lagos. And when we're talking integrated intermodal, that means that I can connect, sometimes I can connect via this rail system, or I can connect via the buses, I can connect via the ferries. So the first one is this one. It goes, the first phase of it is what we're looking at, which is from Marina to Mile 2. It will continue, and the second phase will be signed off today by Mr. Governor. That will continue to Okokomaiko. The second one is the blue line from Agbado all the way to Marina. The first phase of that will be from Agbado to Oyingbo, and then the second phase will go from Oyingbo to Marina. We have the yellow line, which will go from Ota to National Theatre. We have the orange line that will come from Agbowa in Ikorodu to Ikeja. We have the purple line that will go from Mowe to Lasu, and we have the green line that will come from Marina to Lekki. So when you see what I've spoken about, you will realize that there is, we're covering literally all of Lagos with rail. And the good thing about it is that there's connectivity between those rail systems as well. So the one that's going from, say the orange line will connect with the red in Ikeja, for instance. The blue line will connect to the purple line in Lasso. So when you look at the network, it's well connected. And then on top of that, we're hugely connected with the buses, we're hugely connected with the waterways.
Of interest is how effective the Cowrie card works and how efficient it will be in driving a cashless Lagos transport system.
For us, it's even beyond Lagos, it's Nigeria, and in line with the CBN policy of cashless. That is what is driving this. So we are looking at transportation as one of the largest drivers for transactions, cash-based transactions, and how to digitize it. And we've also looked at the habit of people. So we have to develop a solution locally built for something for the masses that can work offline and people can use just like cash. Rather than use cash, can they use a technology to make it work?
Let's look at, in terms of production of this card now, we know that local production of this thing is one of the efforts of the government that we buy in Naira and we keep the Naira here.
Yes.
So what's your company doing in terms of production of this card?
Trust me, it's made by Nigerians, made in Nigerians, made for Nigerians. We've done all this in Nigeria, from the card production to the technology, even to the usage for Nigerians. So we've done everything within our power to make sure that this is localized. Reality and realistic, bringing technology that is out of this country has been a bane in our existence. But for the first time, we'll be able to develop a technology in Nigeria. The production is also in Nigeria and is made for Nigerians.
In terms of the security of this card,
Yes.
Now what efforts have been put in place to ensure that these cards are well secured? For example, as a common Nigerian now,
Yes.
I go to the card and I discover that my card has been cloned. For example, maybe I have like 1,000 naira in my card and I discover that it's been empty. So what efforts are you doing to ensure the security?
I mean, the first thing I will just use to answer that question is like, think of us Nigerians that we can also be world class and can also do world standard. So from that perspective, we put everything in place from the world class perspective. In terms of customer service experience, trust me, we are dealing with the entire bottom of the pyramid. So we're able to give comfort. So this card can work just like your ATM card. It has 4-digit PIN for you to use. You can also use, there's a mobile app that you can also use on your phone. You don't even need a physical card. But the most important thing is that Nigerians can also do world-class things. So in terms of security, it's actually world-class standard.
Well, now let's look at in terms of the longevity of this card.
Yes.
You know that one major thing as regards this card is expiration. Most cards they have expiration. So what are you doing or what have you done to ensure that that is not the case?
So what we have done is that this card is like your cash in your wallet. And as long as your cash in your wallet doesn't have expiration dates, this same card doesn't have expiration dates.
Blue Line rail system will be powered end-to-end by high-voltage electricity to be supplied by a dedicated independent power plant, as well as backup systems which will leave zero carbon emission impact on the environment. President Buhari was on ground to witness the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding for the second phase, which will run from Autu to Okokomaiko. In his 2-day walking visit, President Muhammadu Buhari also commissioned the John Randall Center for Yoruba Culture and History. The John Randall Center also serves as a museum, and it speaks to the heart of Lagos and the Yoruba heritage. The center was remodeled into a recreation and tourism spot for the preservation of the Yoruba culture. The unique F-shaped building, which was named after physician John Randall, aims to engage the public with the richness of Yoruba history and culture through arts and music. A section of the museum shows the Yoruba creation god Obatala, who was given the task to create the earth. The media section contains the details of Nigerian Yoruba musician and activist Fela Anikulapo Kuti, as well as Yoruba linguist, clergyman, and the first African Anglican bishop of West Africa, Samuel Ajayi Crowther. Well, that's all we can take on this edition of Focus On. Until next time, I'm Akion Bakere. Thanks for watching.